Henry Poole is perhaps most famous for being the crucible for modern black tie dressing. Back in 1865, the tailoring house was commissioned by the Prince of Wales, aka the future King Edward VII, to create a tailor's evening jacket in celestial blue, for him to wear at informal dinners at Sandringham, the Prince's country pad. This item proved so popular that it began to be adopted by many men in the highest social circles, not just on home turf, but also across the Atlantic in America in the late 1800s. According to legend, Mr. James Potter of Tuxedo Park, New York, visited London and was invited by the prince to spend a weekend at Sandringham, supposedly after Potter's wife, Cora, caught his eye. Not knowing what to wear, he was advised that he could have a smoking jacket made by the prince's tailors, Henry Poole. When Potter arrived back in New York, he wore this to the town's tuxedo club, where it was adopted by members to wear at their dinners too, and the tuxedo was born. However, while this is perhaps the most famous contribution to history for this tailoring house, its story goes much further back. Originally opened by James Poole in 1806, the house started as a linen drapery and military uniform maker at a location on Everett Street on Brunswick Square in London. Later this moved to Regent Street and then to a new location in Old Burlington Arcade, before James Poole's death in 1846. It was at this point his son, Henry Poole, inherited the business, expanded its aristocratic customer base, becoming the tailor of choice to royals and those who wished to make it in society. With increased success, Henry Poole expanded the premises, and added not only a gargantuan showroom space, but also an entrance onto Savile Row. Another notable contribution from the tailoring house came just after this. In 1871, Poole made Western-style suiting for the Japanese ambassador to London. It was this moment that led to the suit being called Sabiro, say it out loud, in Japanese. GQ Savile Row Guide, CAD. After a brief stint in Cork Street following the demolition of their original Savile Row building in 1961, Henry Poole, of the more traditional outposts on the street with its duck wool-paneled walls, rich green carpet, brass chandeliers and glass cases showcasing many of its most prized artifacts from over 200 years in the tailoring business. However, while the house might be historic, it's by no means stuck in the past. The world's most famous male model David Gandy is one of their current clients, and they recently launched a supremely sleek trainer collaboration with Adidas. What's on offer? Bespoke only. House style, balanced and timeless. Savile Row Tailors, the GQ Guide. How long does it take to make a bespoke suit? 10 to 12 weeks with consultation and 2 fittings. How much does an entry-level wool two-piece suit cost? £3,990, excluding VAT, where a bespoke suit's made. All garments are made at 15/16 Savile Row, where they have several workshops. Do you have any famous customers our readers might have heard of? Edward Fox, Winston Churchill, Irving Berlin, U.S. President Ulysses S. Grant, Frank Lloyd Wright, Emperor Napoleon III, the list goes on. The house has a more in-depth look at its famous clients on its Hall of Fame website. Today David Gandy is a customer, and the house still holds a royal warrant for HM Queen Elizabeth II. What is your head tailor's top tip for buying a suit? Research the tailoring houses and what their styles are. It's important to feel comfortable with your tailor. Believe all wardrobes should have at least one navy blue lightweight flannel suit. The color makes any person look healthy and the fabric doesn't shine too easily. What you didn't know, the script garment label, which is sewn on the back neck of the jacket, dates back to around 1920, and remains relatively unchanged. Henry Poole, 15 Savile Row, Mayfair, London. W1S, 3PJ, 440-20-7734-5985, henrypoole.com.